Hello everyone, today we have a really special type of tile. This is a terracotta clay tile. Alright, let's get started. Like all projects, step 1 is to prepare the subfloor. There was a good amount of plaster still stuck on the plywood here and a decent amount of dust, so I was able to remove everything fairly easily. Just gotta sponge it off, wipe away any plaster, and scrape off anything that might still be stuck. Step 2, I am going to be using Ditra membrane to prepare the subfloor. This is a really good idea, especially for this type of tile because of the moisture and the crack isolation. The tiles are going to be touching each other. I'm going to do zero grout or as little grout as possible. So the crack isolation part of this membrane is going to work really great, and as well as the moisture control. So what I'm doing right now is I'm shaving off a little bit of the excess. It's really important that you don't have anything running up the wall with these Ditra membranes, because you have to be able to squeeze all the mortar out. So it has to fit perfectly, which is easy to do because it's so easy to cut. Cutting the toilet hole is also really easy with Ditra membrane. For the Thinset, I'm just going to use Schluter Set. This takes away any of the guesswork. It's designed to work with this product. It bonds really well with the plywood. It has a nice creamy surface, making it really easy to squeeze out any air bubbles and things like that. So it's a great product. This is a white Schluter Set Thinset mortar. If you can't get a hold of Schluter Set, or you don't want to spend the extra 10-15 bucks, you can also use unmodified Thinset. But there's a couple things that make this a little trickier. It does tend to dry faster, and it doesn't bond as well. At least it's not as easy to bond. There's a few tips to be able to put all of the Ditra sheets fairly easily. What you can do is, what you have to do is you have to pre-cut all the pieces before you lay down any mortar, and then you might notice some blue tapes on the wall. What I like to do is I like to put a couple lines on the tape and try to align those lines with some lines that I have on the Ditra membrane. I also take off the sheet right there and check to make sure that I'm getting full coverage. Everything looks great. Yeah, if you don't pre-cut the sheets, you're gonna suffer a lot. So just take a couple minutes, cut all the pieces, make sure everything fits really well, and put down the mortar afterwards. Alright everyone, so this is the exciting part. I got an opportunity to work with this star clay tile. This is going to be a really interesting video. One of the main reasons that I decided to make a very long video is because this tile is not very DIY friendly. There's a bunch of extra steps. It's really tricky. Step 3 of planning the tile layout, squaring off all of the walls, getting all my lines right. This step is very crucial for this kind of tile. If you skip a step like this, you can end up, you see that? That's about 2 inches off square. So definitely have to account for that. Another fun challenge of these tiles is that they are made of clay and they are extremely porous. So when you cut, you first of all have to cut with a wet saw. You have to make sure to keep the water clean. I'll show how I clean the tiles in a little bit, but yeah, you have to make sure that all the stuff that you're doing is very careful so that you don't stain the tiles. This is how I keep the tiles clean. Two buckets, go from one to the other, and then dry them out. Alright, this is the first piece. This piece is going to guide the entire project. So for step 4, this step is very similar to any tile without any grout. You just have to be really careful. The only difference that I can think of between these terracotta clay tiles versus regular tiles is that you have to be a little more careful with making sure that the mortar doesn't dry on the tiles as much as you can, and making sure to clean the grout lines because they are fairly brittle, and you have a really hard time later on trying to clean that off. Going against the shower here, putting a bunch of little pieces. It's difficult to tell because it's off camera, but I do back butter the tiles beforehand. This just means that I go through the back of the tile with an even layer of Thinset to make sure that when I put it down, it gets full coverage. Definitely want to change your water often, make sure everything stays nice and clean. Now that the first line is done, and this is true for really all tile floors, once the first line is nice and even and you make sure that your layout is good, all you have to do is just follow the pattern once in a while, check to make sure that you're not going off of a particular line too much, and yeah, you just have to put the pieces down. Have to be patient and try to keep things clean and just try to follow the line. There's my longest straight edge, just making sure that I don't go off the pattern too much. Zero grout, there's no room for error. These shapes of the tiles do vary, and that variation is what provides the space for the grout to actually go into. Going around these toilet flanges with these pattern tiles is always fun. I almost have the whole pattern. I'm going to slow it down just a little bit. There you go. And that's it. Done. Going back to step 3, I did manage to get almost full pieces through the entire floor. I had to shift things around, but one of the reasons why this particular floor looks as nice as it does and there isn't any awkward little pieces everywhere is just because I shifted things up about 2 inches. Planning your tile makes all the difference. This was a little bit of a high point, so the mortar did pop out of the grout. Do not forget with these clay tiles to remove as much of the wet mortar as you can to save yourself trouble in the future. These last pieces against the threshold, there was a slight angle at the door. I think it was about ½ an inch. So each one of those pieces has a specific type of cut, angling it ever so slightly. And that's it. The tile installation is complete. Everything looks great. One of the other additional steps that you have to do is step number 5. You have to put a layer of sealer before you put the grout. This is very, very, very important. This sealer layer, I can't stress enough how important it is to put this layer before you do the grout. If you don't do this, there really is no way that you'll be able to take out the color that gets seeped into all of the pores. This other step is I'm just taking off all of the excess to make sure that the sealer doesn't clump up and leave streaks. Right here, you can see the difference between what's sealed and what isn't. You can also just use a wet rag that's saturated with the sealer, but I really like to use the roller because it can get into smaller areas and it's a lot easier to control and spread the sealer evenly. Once the sealer dries, you can't really tell that it has been sealed. This is not a shine sealer. It doesn't have any kind of gloss. Look at that. That's how much the sealer changes the absorption of water. It's amazing. Step number 6, grout the tiles. The customer did want a very light colored grout. Typically with these types of installations you go with something that blends to try to diminish the number of grout lines and to make the whole area look like a solid piece. The customer specifically wanted to have everything look a bit more checkered, which is fine. I mean, the end product turned out great. It is definitely a lot harder to do a light colored grout on this type of tile, so you have to be really careful. You have to work in very small sections and make sure that you don't get any haze, because you will see everything. If you follow the steps that I've shown throughout the video, if you seal it properly, if you keep the tiles clean, you should be fine. One of my secret weapons when doing a very high contrast grout color is I use the 2-bucket system, which I'll be showing in a second, and I also pay special attention to being very methodical about how I'm wiping everything down, making sure that I don't miss anything. This is the 2-bucket system. You can only do this with pre-mixed grouts. You put the dirty sponge in the dirty water, and then you put it in a clean water. Take that water, put it in the dirty one, ring it up. That's it. Pretty straightforward stuff. The instructions for this Flexcolor Mapei CQ grout, they do say to wait about 10 minutes. I don't really see the need to wait at all, and in fact, in some cases where I have waited those 10 minutes, it tends to dry too much, so I usually just clean it right away, and it works great. Alright, now for the final step. Once everything is clean, and very important, you do have to wait a minimum of 24 hours. I am going to seal it for the last time. This is 511 sealer. It's the recommended sealer by the manufacturer. Just the same process as the one before, except this time there's already grout in there. This is the additional step that sort of brings it all together. It gives everything exactly the same type of finish. And it's a really important step for the longevity of the tile. And there you have it. Thank you all for watching. This was a really fun project. It's always a pleasure and a privilege to work with these really interesting and tricky materials. Thank you for watching.